All right, so with only 2,000 views, not even, we were able to generate over $4,350 in the month of May doing this exact method. And no, you do not need a large audience, a new offer, or a new pricing structure where you have to charge 10 grand for a simple one-on-one mentorship with you. But in this video, you are going to learn how to pretty much target high-end customers, not the people that are paying you low amounts of money. You don't even have to change the type of people that you're promoting to. It's just trying to find the right people that actually want your product. You're also going to learn how to pre-sell clients before they hop on the phone with you. If you've ever heard of that dream before, this is the closest thing to it. And lastly, you guys are going to learn how to make content that actually sells with only a couple hundred views on YouTube. Now, I've been doing YouTube for the past 10 years. I even got myself one of these YouTube plaques, but what I realized is that subscriber counts, views, and virality does not matter on this platform, especially if you're trying to run a business. And whenever you look at it from a business perspective, and I know that most people that are watching this video that are making 5, 10, 15, 20 grand a month don't even want to listen to what I'm about to tell you. If you're trying to elevate your business and trying to take it to the next level, information and even soaking up very basic stuff just like this can still put you ahead of people. So for example, there are two different cars are here. We both have McLarens, but there are two different services that you can do. You can get a $5,000 to $25,000 modification package to essentially make the car look cooler, maybe even a little bit faster. Who really knows? It doesn't really matter. The point is they are not paying for the modification. They're not paying for, to make it look cooler. They're paying for an outcome. And depending on how bad that outcome is, how bad they need it, and obviously how much it'll benefit their life or benefit whatever they're trying to get out of, that's exactly how much they're going to pay you and how fast they're going to pay you. Now, with a repair service, if you don't have a McLaren anymore, your car got completely smashed, total, let's just say that you lived through this. This kind of looks fatal right here. My point is, one, you can obviously charge a whole lot more, not because of the service. Of course, service is great. Of course, it's very hard. But most of the time, especially whenever it's selling high ticket, we're not actually working for high ticket. We're not making 10, 20, $200 an hour doing this stuff. It's just because of the outcome. Now, the reason why we can charge so much more, and on top of that, somebody would be more willing to pay for this, is because there's a real need. You don't need modifications. You already have it on the car. It already looks cool. But with a repair, you pretty much need it. You can't drive the damn thing anymore. You can't be driving around looking like an idiot, $250,000 car, to the point where obviously this is way more of a need for somebody. Then on top of that, you don't get anything out of this. But for here, you actually save 200,000, 300,000, 400 grand not buying a brand new car. That is a real need. That is a real outcome. Instead of actually buying a new car, you essentially just save money in the process. Now, for most people that simply start, let's say, an online coaching business or an agency or something that's just in the level of high ticket trying to serve people, people go about it in completely wrong paths. And if you're on this path right now, there's obviously ways to fix it. And if you're still not even doing any of these mistakes I'm showing you, you still need to listen to this. So let's just say that we're selling a fitness coaching offer for $5,000. And for most people, most consumers out there, since they're doing B2C in for this sense, that is a lot of freaking money. So obviously you have to see some outcome. You have to see some sort of benefit. And of course, $5,000, I can go buy myself a car, put it in that sense. So if we're trying to sell to Bob over here, it does not matter how good this fitness coaching program is. Bro, if I don't know, CDAD or, Alex Eubank, somebody jacked, literally huge, right? If they literally offered to coach me for $5 grand, Bob still cannot say yes, despite how guaranteed it looks, how many, guarantees, how many testimonials, because look at this. He literally cannot afford your shit. That is a tenth of his salary. He has bills to pay. He has, child support to pay for because Bob is a fat ass, right? He's fat, but his job doesn't require him to do anything. He doesn't have to walk around. He just sits at a desk. And he's also happy with his current situation. He does not have a burning desire to simply get rid of what he has. Now over here, we have Mike, $250,000 salary. And of course, he's fat. He can't move around through his headquarters since he owns the company. And he's very insecure and does not want to even show up to work. A lot of people are saying, what the heck is going on with Mike? Why is he not showing up? He's literally the CEO. We should look up to him. And then boom, he's fat. So who on earth do you think is going to close easier? Not because of the money. Of course, money is just good. It's for qualification purposes. But again, the real thing that we need, obviously we have to just go into it. Who's going to close easier? Obviously Mike. Now, the reason why, and again, we can go into this bleeding neck theory. It's as simple as this. The easiest way that somebody can describe something, the easier way to close, whether this be in sales, whether this be in marketing, it does not matter. You don't have to make the product perfect. You don't have to, essentially make the perfect offer, all these things. All you need to do is to target the people that want to buy. Now, obviously, you can have a million leads, but the real people that you need to actually pay attention to are your prospects. Now, there's a big misconception between leads and prospects. Leads are the people that just come into your business. They either watch your videos, they get a free PDF, they even book a call. That's a lead. That could be called booked appointment. They could even fill out a form, whatever. But the real people, what you actually want to look for are your prospects. Now, prospects are a little bit different. They're people with the money that can actually afford your program and won't have to break the bank, because no matter how big their desire is, they still cannot afford it. Simple as that. Money will not appear on their bank account. They need to have the money, they need to have the desire, and they need to just be the type of person that can benefit from it. Because your ICP needs to be the person that can benefit the most from it. Because it doesn't matter how good your program is. If they're only going to lose 10, 20, 30 pounds, or even if they look completely jacked, if it doesn't really change their life, it doesn't matter. If you can get somebody that's literally going on stage, somebody that's on a TED Talk, somebody that's a public speaker, and they're insecure about themselves, they're able to get jacked, and that literally same result of being jacked literally changes their life, that is much more justifiable of a $5,000 price tag rather than just casually, losing weight, that sort of stuff. You need to find these three type of people. And in this video, I'm obviously going to be breaking down exactly how you can go about doing this with people that literally come to you that are pre-qualified, they're pre-qualified prospects, have everything ready to go, that literally hop on the phone with you and close like clockwork. And it's as simple as that. All right, so for some quick proof of concept, if you go over to my Stripe dashboard, you can obviously see everything's in place. It's not really big numbers. I don't expect you guys to be faking any of these things. But if we go over here, if you can give it a quick second, within the past month, pretty much it's been 4,300. And if you go over to the YouTube channel, you can see past 28 days. Also, by the way, in the title, we stated 2,000 views. It is 2,000 views because, as you guys can see, if you click this video right here, some random company has literally been advertising my video for the past month. And if you go over to past 28 days, that's pretty much 10,000 views. And then, 10,000 minus 8,000 is pretty much 2,000. So you get the point. So that being said, I've not posted, as you guys can see, within an entire month. My last video was August 29th. It is nearly September 29th. Nearly a month. I did not post a single video, yet we were able to generate that much money. Obviously, whenever I was going ham with the videos and I was actually focused on the specific channel, this is just for an example, you guys can just imagine how much money was being made. This is with a low ticket offer, by the way. So in the description of every single video, obviously I would have the product that I would be selling, and this would be a product. This would not be an info product or coaching product. Essentially, it would just be a monetized account for the business that I was talking about. And as you guys can see, 550, 750. And if you go over to Stripe dashboard, 550, 550, 750. So people were literally purchasing right then and there. They didn't even have to hop on a call. So that being said, you can sell a good amount of money without even getting on the phone. But if you want to sell anything 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 and above, obviously you need to get on the phone with them. And that's still what you can be doing with these YouTube videos. But the point is, you guys are probably wondering, how do we actually go about doing this? How can you guys do it for yourself? How do we actually find this ideal ICP that essentially closes like clockwork? So what we essentially need to do is to find our dream ICP. Now, the more descriptive, the more very niche down you are, obviously the more money that you're going to make. The only issue is that once you are selling out and there's pretty much nobody left in that huddle of people that you're selling to, obviously you're capped out. You need to obviously branch out a little bit more. But let's just be honest, most of the time, if you're making 5, 10, 15, 25 grand a month, if you want to expand to that 50 or even 100 grand per month, you can go very niche. And then obviously a couple months or even a couple of years down the road, whenever it finally dries up, based on your stats and revenue, then you can obviously, expand out. But I have people, and I myself are making anywhere from, 25, 50, or even 100 grand per month with a very specific ICP. And I will give you a very specific example of it. So if you don't have a direct ICP and you're making good amount of money, you're on board. If you don't even have an ICP that you're targeting, you're just selling to the general public or general businesses, like you're going to make a lot more money if you actually niche down on these people. So here's an example of an ICP that would work perfectly, where I can sell anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 a pop per person. So Dream ICP, let's go ahead and do this. So I help, and you're going to do a mission statement, by the way. I help XYZ. So that is going to be online coaches, agencies, and course creators. So you can either have one person, you can have two people, you can have three people. So you can just do I help busy moms and mom executives. You get the idea. Like, you can do a specific occupation. I help mom executives, that sort of stuff. So pretty much the more specific that you can get, obviously, the more that you can charge, because whenever you're actually talking very specific to these people, they're going to say, wow, you're speaking directly to me. Obviously, there's going to be some sort of correlation. But again, it's very general basic stuff. So let me go back to my ICP, the one that's on this YouTube channel, for a very easy and understandable point. So I help online coaches. So if you're an online coach, hold on, let me go ahead and highlight this. If you guys are an agency or you are running a course business or some form of info business, I help online coaches, agencies, and course creators book 10 plus calls a month from only recording 2 hours a month. Or just, here, we can actually make the offer better. 30 minutes a week. So essentially what my offer is that I will help anybody that's in that niche or era that simply wants to hop onto YouTube, leverage the power of how obviously amazing it is and how, how powerful it is actually getting these high ticket clients. All they have to do is sit on the phone with me, literally read off of a script that we give you, read off everything. We create the video ideas, everything that you need to rock and roll. You just sit on your camera, record for 30 minutes. You send that over to us. And obviously it only takes 30 minutes a week. We take care of the posting. You get the idea. So there's my dream ICP. Now, the reason why this is my dream ICP is because these people would benefit the most from it. Now, if there's Sally selling a $50 cookbook, even if she gets, a couple hundred views on her video, which she most likely will, let's just say that she gets lucky and within her first week, she gets 5 sales. That's generous, by the way. $250. Now, if we are selling a $500 product and we get, 3 sales, that's $1,500. You got to go in here. And if we sell a $5,000 coaching program, if you go and you actually start posting consistently within your first 1 or 2 or even 3 months, you can still realistically start closing 1 to 3 clients per month. And obviously that equals $5,000 to $15,000 per month. Now, obviously, you guys can see the difference. We're not changing anything here. We're not changing the views. We're not changing the editing. We're literally just changing how expensive it is. Online coaches have expensive stuff. Agencies have expensive services. And course creators usually sell $500 to $1,500 products. That's it. And they're already established. And on top of that, they already have the capital to invest. So not only are they going to be getting a big ROI because they're people paying a lot of money, they also are going to be qualified because they already make a lot of money in the first place. So these aren't beginners. They're not noobs. You guys understand the point from there. And then lastly, of course, obviously this is very specific. So people with a burning desire, they want to make more than a certain amount of money. Of course, you can niche down. You can say, I can help you book more calls. I can, I can help you get more lead flow, get more generated leads. At the end of the day, you just want to be direct with people. What do they want at the end of the day? Do they want a 6-pack? Do they want to make more money? I can sit here and yap about how many leads I can generate for somebody. That doesn't mean shit if I can't make them money. If they can't make money from it, there's no point. Nobody gives a damn about leads. So I'm literally going to promise 10 calls a month. And obviously, if you got good closers in place, that's going to equal 1, 2, 3 sales per month on your high ticket program. And that's anywhere from a $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 net from a very smaller investment than what you're originally paying for it. You guys get the idea. Just incentivize what you're actually trying to get them in terms of results. So that's an example of an ICP. And obviously from there, you're going to have to go into the deep analysis of where are they at? Are they in Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube? For the sake, most of these people, they're on YouTube. And if you do not think that your ICP is not on YouTube, you can still find these people and you can still use the YouTube method, to still be locking in these deals and locking in these clients. But most of the time, they're all going to be on YouTube. And obviously you want these people on YouTube because the chances are is that these people, if most of these ICPs that you're talking to, if they're on Instagram, most of the time they're going to be swiping on Reels. Short attention span, wasting their time, not serious people because they've seen a million other videos just like yours every single day. If you're very specific and people on top of that are even searching for your shit, it's even easier to close the deal. And as you guys can see, if we go into my my audience, let me see. I'm trying to show you guys something. device. Come on, bro. Content. So as you guys can see, let's just forget this. I don't know why people are advertising my videos, but you guys can obviously get an idea. 20,000 of my views have been through search. Now YouTube advertising, again, I don't know why they're advertising, but 3,000 views have been through search. 1,000 have been through browse features. Majority of my traffic has been through YouTube search, and people are searching specifically for it. So if you can niche down, also get people to search you up on YouTube, it's going to be the easiest sale of your life. And that's very much in a very small nutshell on exactly how you guys do this. Of course, if you, if you fit into one of these categories, you don't want to go through the whole process of finding the content, which I haven't even gone into, creating the content, actually writing the scripts, finding your ICP, or if you already have an ICP, making content catered towards that ICP, pretty much doing the entire road work. And you want a guaranteed 5 to 10 book calls per month, or you don't pay, then go ahead and hit the first link in the description down below. But that being said, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Hope you all have an amazing day. Let's get some money.